Hey guys, it's Ellen here. Today I have something new for you. I'm using these Prestigify watercolor sets. This is the Starry Gold watercolors, Dazzling Gem and Shimmering Pearl watercolors to create this lovely metallic floral. And I'm using Prestigify's watercolor brush pen set to create this loose watercolor floral on their wonderful 300 GSM 5x7 pad paper. These are so much fun to use. I've been dying to use some watercolor brush pens, and I'll show you how I use them. I'll use them as almost like I'm drawing, and then I'll add some water to create the loose effect. Don't forget to use the code Ellen Crimi-trent upon checkout if you want to receive a 15% discount on all the products that I'm using today. So let's get started. So the Prestigify Metallics come in these really cool linear cases. This is the gold set. This is the Dazzling Gem watercolor set. This is the Starry Gold watercolor set. Each one has unique colors in them. These have these nice rich gold, metallic black actually, and a silver in here and a white, and it's really bright yellow. Each of them comes with this water brush pen. Then you fill up with water, and I'll show you how to use that. And today I'm going to show you just a quick tutorial on how I'm going to use these all together as a combination to create a really nice painting. You get these nice, these are the Dazzling Gem watercolors, and they're really nice, muted, pretty pastel tones. You get some pinks and some lavenders, as well as some brighter colors, the blue and the purple and the green and the blue. And then again, we have some more metallic, kind of pearlescent white. They call Diamond Dust. And then the Starry Gold watercolor set has more vibrant pinks and deep blues and pretty red colors and greens. So we're going to do a combination of all these and see what we come up with. I'm going to start off using the Starry Gold watercolors. Let me give you an example of how you can use this and how it works. All these pans have this color in them. I use this pen to squeeze the water coming out of the tip of it, or you can activate it with a spray bottle or a droplet of water. And depending on how much water you're putting in, the paint is either thick or thin, and you can experiment it on a piece of scrap. I have this piece of black craft paper here. Look at that. Depending on how much water you're getting, a really opaque consistency or translucent if you go a little more water on there. Now to clean off these water brushes, you can squeeze the water down and then tap it on your paper towel like this. Try and get the color out, or you can rinse it off in a water jar right up here. Again, you squeeze the water from the water brush and grab this really lustrous gold and just play around with moving the paint around. Once you get a feel of the paint, see I'm adding some water by squeezing the water through the brush, and it becomes more translucent. And just play around, getting used to the brush. I love the shimmering effect it creates. It's very vibrant. The less water, you're going to have more of a concentration of the color. More water, you're going to have less of that. So you can play around with the tonality by just playing with water by using the same colors and creating a different effect. And you can get fairly thin lines with this water brush, and thick ones as well. Look at that. So I'm going to give you a demo on how I use these paints. And I'm going to combine the Prestigify Shimmering Pearl watercolors and the Dazzling Gem watercolors all in one painting. And as you can see, you can create a variety of shapes, sizes, and widths just by using this water pen that comes with each case. And it's a lot of fun. Here I'm grabbing some of these lush gold colors, on the brush pen. And I'll be using the brush pen in two ways, as I explained before. We're making it more opaque in some areas and more translucent in other areas. And you just do that simply by squeezing some of the water out of that brush and loosening up the paint a little bit. So I'll be painting a variety of roses and flowers, stems and leaves with all these metallic colors. You see how I mix up the colors and add a variety of some pinks, maybe a couple of purples, some of the pale pinks also, and a little bit of the blue to create this really pretty harvest metallic floral. So sit back and enjoy. I'm very excited to show you this Prestigify watercolor brush pen set. It's a 48 color set and it has 2 bonus water brush pens that come with it. It gives you vibrant color. It's all water-based ink. It's flexible brush tip for fine, medium, and bold strokes. This is perfect for drawing, for painting, coloring, lettering, calligraphy. You know, it's non-toxic and washable. It's fantastic. I really love playing around with these. You can get such fine lines with this. And I also played around with it where I drew up these flowers and I used the water brush pens that come with it to create that loose floral effect. It's a lot of fun. And I painted this on this Prestigify watercolor paper pad. It's a 5x7 pad. It's 300 GSM. It's really thick. Has a nice quality to it, so it holds water really well. It's great. You want to try getting one of these pads. It's a lot of fun. And I'll show you how I created this really pretty floral just by using the watercolor brush pens and then using the water pen that comes with it to create that loose effect. Also, one other thing, this paper is also acid free, which is great. So this loose little simple watercolor flowers, I'm going to show you how I did this. Basically, I had a couple of these brush pens, and I'm going to just give you an example of how fun they are. Look at that little tip, so pointy. You could do these very fine lines. If you zoom in and see, if you wanted to, but we're not going to do that. We're going to have fun. So we're going to just move this brush around like this, and it makes that dry brush. So it makes that dry brush look while you're moving the brush around, because the paper has a little bit of tooth to it. You just kind of keep moving the brush around, little strokes that you see that I'm moving here, back and forth, you know, and then just do it again on the other side. Do simple, loose strokes you see, back and forth to create these flowers. So here I'm just making another one of those flowers. I just sped up the drawing just a little bit. And I'm making a little one on the side, just like you saw before, but just smaller. And I'm going to go in and take an orange light color, and I'm going to go in between all those little strokes that I just did. Just go all in between, all around it, inside. Maybe a couple of strokes on the outside of the flower. And the same thing on the little one. So all around that. I'm going to go in and grab a green. I'm going to pull in some stems going downward from all the flowers that I just did. And I'll add some leaves to that. And it's so simple to use these brush pens because it's almost like using a pen or a pencil. It's just easy to use. You know, it's unlike a paintbrush, you're holding it similar to like holding a pen. You're just pushing down on the strokes. It's a very fine tip, makes these nice little sprigs and twigs if you want to make some twigs. And I added some little berries in there. And I'll go in and I'll grab maybe a little bit of darker green just to give a little more variety with the green. And then I'm going to grab that water brush pen, and I've got some water in there. I'm just going to squeeze it down to the bottom, to the tip, and then I'm just going to put some water going on the outside and inside of the flower. That's how I create the looseness of it. The excess water or paint I will just dab on the paper towel like you saw me do there, but I'll just keep going around the flower and filling in with some water, and then going on the paper towel again just to lift up some of the paint if it's too much excess. If you want it really like loose on the sides, you just lift up some of the paint using the water brush pen and then dabbing it on the paper towel. You see I'm just adding in the water, just moving all that paint around. So I still see some of the strokes, but then I have the loose watercolor effect on the outside of the florals that I just did. I'll just keep going around all the florals, and I'll do the same thing with the stems and leaves. I'll just add some water to them, so it's just pushing the paint around, making it really loose, and a little fun and a little variety to it. Just keep playing around with it. You can also use your own paintbrushes. Like I have my own paintbrush right here, and if I want to lift up the water around the leaves and the stems, I can use that instead of using the water brush pen if you feel like you have more control over that. And then I go back in when it's dry, and I'll take the water brush pens and add some details. I'll add some more twigs if I want, and some more leaves, some fine lines around the flowers. It's a lot of fun to play with. You can spend hours and hours and hours using these water brush pens, and there's so many colors here. I don't know, you can just create so many different things with them. It's a lot of fun. See, I'm going back in and I'm adding in all the details with the little fine tip of the pen. It's fantastic. Making some dark colors in there too. A little more easier to control than having a paintbrush in some respects. And just keep playing around and keep adding until I feel like I'm finished with the flower. So you can see how easy it was to create this really simple, pretty, loose watercolor floral using the brush pens. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial on Prestigify watercolors. These were so much fun to use. I love the Starry Gold watercolor set mixed with the Dazzling Gem and the Shimmering Pearl watercolors to create this metallic floral. That was so much fun to do. And of course, the watercolor brush pen set. This 48 color set is fantastic. It comes with the bonus water brush pens, so you can make this floral looser if you wanted to, or keep it really fine with using the brush pens themselves. Don't forget to use the code Crimi-trent upon checkout to receive 15% off, which is a nice little bonus. These will make great gifts for Christmas or birthdays or whatever. It's just so much fun to play with something different. I really enjoyed it, so I hope you did too. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.